I said the word dyke one day to someone, which is just a Scottish word anyway, fucking dyke, whatever. I don't care. Some people take it as a slur. It's not a slur in Scotland, and I didn't mean it as a slur. And all of a sudden, people who didn't like me was like, she's the most homophobic piece of shit in this whole world, and they're trying to... So I just doubled down and wrote dyke, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Well, that just made it worse, but I'm the kind of person who will just keep doubling down. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck off.
I think there's a lot of useful idiots in the movement as well. A lot of academics that aren't helpful. A lot that are. Thank you, Doc and Julia Long. You are the two academics.
Dr. M as well.
Julia Long's all right.
And Dr. Emily and Lascap. How do you say Lascap? I said Lascap last week, and it came out as scab, and I'm like, oh my God, no, it was scab. It sounded like scab with my accent, and I'm like, Lascap, and it was her comment.
I think everyone calls her Lascap because is it Lascapliagata? Is it Lascapa?
Yeah, and how do we pronounce that properly?
I stick at the first syllable, Lascap.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to Gartlin, and I'm going to go back to Amanda. And I'm sure Turf Jester is going to come in and with her usual diplomatic.
Oh, but you don't have to keep.
You know, voice.
Well, I'm not very diverse, I suppose, but I fully support Amanda, and I think Julia Long's okay. Dr. Claire Jones is a bit critical. I just get tired of all this sort of bouncing up and down on top of each other, trying to like prove some better point. I mean, if any of you, I mean, I'm sure all of us have at some point had a discussion with a TRA. One seriously does not need a doctorate to have a conversation with a TRA.
Witchy, get your hand back up, you little fucker. Ghastly, please go ahead. Sorry, Dr. Louise.
There's no point involving academia and complex arguments. It's a man is never a woman. A woman is never a man. I mean, it's pretty simple. And the more complex you make it, the more you play into the hands of these fucking idiots. It's so simple.
Oh, I want to agree 100 times, Ghastly. It's the artificer relies on sleight of hand and deception. And they say something is complex when it's actually very simple, and they need to gaslight you and talk shit.
Can you kind of get the no Petrun's comment out of your system, and then we'll revert to everyone else?
The no Petrun's. Is that what you said? I know I've got a real bee in my bonnet about that, because I'm noticing TERFs are starting to pander to the trannies. There was a tranny on here this week going, and how does this outfit look? And how does that? And the amount of ball palmers that came to carry water for that fucker. Oh, he knows he's a man. He's one of the good ones. And I revert back to, if you've started wearing your sister's or mother's clothes as a boy, you are not a good one.
An interesting thing is, when they think we are attacking them, they say, oh, we're jealous and we think they're all kind of elite academics and they're using big words and so forth. But it's not that. I think the motivation is misconstrued because
they've been too long in their power.
Like all the women I speak to, and most of the people in this space, I'd imagine, we do value the academic input. We're all in agreement we need both sides. What we disagree with is the being talked down to from one side and being smeared at, like we're lesser than, and that we don't have a role in this debate. When we're the people whose lives have been affected. I mean, Rex, you spoke about your kind of marriage, and I hope I'm not saying anything untoward because you've been open about that, and you spoke about that in another space and what you went through being married to one of these people. Yep. And Amanda has spoken about her experience in prison people have spoken about their experiences of domestic violence. And all these women are kind of, it's like we're doing a kiss because they want to get their book deals and their conference spots. And you know, they don't represent me. Who are these people? So,
And they don't, our lives are not an academic exercise. These are our lives. We're being put in care, being jailed, being bashed. There's a woman in Australia who's permanently disabled because some tranny picked her up and threw her on the ground. She can't lift her arm above her shoulder. But please, fucking tell me, how about that golfer, Holly Lawford-Smith? I'm really pissed off with Holly Lawford-Smith. No pt2s. How dare she spend 90 fucking minutes on a golf cheat? The man was a golf cheat, and she spent 90 minutes talking to him.
Let me tell you a story. Can I just interject with a story, and then I'll let you continue? As you know, I was sued by Stephanie Hayden, and I don't really wish to talk about Stephanie Hayden because Stephanie Hayden is a litigious lunatic, as we all know. During the litigation, it turned out that she had befriended the man and had gotten on the phone with another academic to speak about me. And then these turned up in Stephanie Hayden's witness statement. So we kind of had to send it off. And then she emailed my lawyer, and I'm like, who is she? Why are these people invading my case? And it just caused such a headache and such a nightmare. And I was actually astounded that they went to the extent of befriending the very man who was suing me to try and get one over on me. And I'm like, why? So I'm going to leave you to kind of think about that and it kind of bears some relation to what you're saying. So I'm going to turn the mic up now, okay?
Oh, bless you. And it is the hounding of us. Anyway, Fat Tony, it's not illegal for me to call him a nonce and a kid fucker in my country. That's you, Tony Hayden, fat old Stephanie Hayden. You're a gay man with extra steps, and you're a vicious, ugly little loser. You look like a big toe with a fucking wig on it. So anyway, moving on. Stella O'Malley is another useful idiot that needs kicking to the curb. Another one making big money off this. You're £60 a head. We've got, that's a physical conference run by an outfit over there, which is quite a lot of money. We've got a conference here next month. I think Stella O'Malley is being paid her 30 pieces of silver to appear. And it's $100 for an online conference all day. Fucking $100.
It's $125 to listen to the live stream. Why? And I don't get it. Why can't you just speak for free?
Well, the event we're having on the 31st of October, which I'll plug again, it's at Parliament Grounds at the Beehive in Wellington, New Zealand, and it's free. And we've assembled speakers, and we've, doing our own crowd control and bits. We've got the parliamentary staff, but like I say, we've got a women's group here that said we can't support your event until we know who the speakers are. Yeah, let's go
back to Ghastly and then go back to Amanda, and then let's see if somebody else wants to speak, because I know there's a few people kind of chiming in with their kind of emoticons or whatever they are. So I really hope someone will have the confidence to speak and kind of help us out a bit.
Heather, would you mind if I spoke first?
Of course not, darling.
Thank you.
Go for it.
Thank you. Just because it's something that's been happening recently, and I will not and do not mention names unless people come for me. But when we're talking about classism in these spaces and all the rest of it, right? And if you've been in this space long enough and heard everything we've said before and actually taken in the conversations that we're having, no matter whether it's a person who speaks posh or a person who speaks slang or whatever, right? Hopefully everyone is listening, right? But I'm constantly being told that I am the wrong woman to be speaking for women in prison, right? Because I am this, I am that. If you are on this circuit and you know feminism and you know these women, you will have seen it. You might not have, because I don't see a lot as well, but this has been happening to me for over a year.
Sorry, but given you've actually had the experience, who the fuck else is meant to speak? Sorry, I'm just really.
Yeah, exactly. So, as I said, like, doxed by feminists, doxed by this, doxed by whatever, right? And I'm not going to mention names, and I'm not going to also mention the people that they're.
Well, I'll mention names because I don't care.
Right, I won't, honestly, like, because I will if I want to, if you know what I mean, right? And I get that, right? But anyway, right, so what I'm just going to say is, right, I'm constantly told that I'm the wrong woman to be speaking for women in prison and whatever, by feminists, by whatever. If I've been asked to
It's a
speak
curious
on...
thing, isn't it? I mean, you've actually had the experience of being in prison, as you're open about.
Yeah.
Some of these groups purport to represent vulnerable women in prison, but they don't actually want to hear from the women in prison because it's all a bit off to the fainting couch again. It's all a bit, oh no, a bit too much for us. So which is it? They either want to represent us or they don't.
Yeah.
And if they want to represent you, they have to engage with you.
But I think one of the worst things is, though, is like when I came onto Twitter to speak about this sort of stuff, you know, as I said, I'm not a feminist, I'm not an academic, like, I'm like TERF, do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I'm trying to gently come into what I'm trying to say to then tell you how
but you're a woman with
but,
experience, and that makes you as qualified as anyone else.
yeah, but so when I came on here and I'm like, don't know anything about feminism, don't know whatever, I'm just been going to speak about this stuff. As I said before, the shit that's happened to me is like being fucking doxed by feminists. Or what I'm saying is, when I come on here, you make friends. They're like, oh, I'm a feminist, but it's not just I'm a feminist. It's I'm a doctor, or I'm a psychologist, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. And they would like all make friends with me, right, and be all fucking all over me and whatever. And I would then feel comfortable enough to tell them the whole stories of what had actually happened, you know, when what led to the prison stuff and whatever. And they'd be like, oh my God, that's so terrible. And then they would start talking about all this psychology stuff and feminism stuff, and like as if they supported me. But the minute that I didn't agree with them, or I called one of them out in their fucking bullshit, they were doxing me and telling everybody I'm this. But I was getting like...
I mean, what you might well find is that some of these people want to use you in their studies, or they might want to tweet about you, but when it comes to actual real meaningful support and acknowledging you, they are nowhere to be seen.
Aye, but I don't want to hang as well. I don't want to make it about me, right? But this does happen, right? But anyway, so like, so I'm constantly told like, oh, I'm the wrong woman to speak, I'm the wrong person, this, whatever, right? So I set up a space to genuinely ask a question.
Well, if you're the wrong woman, who's the bloody right woman? You're the one that's got the experience.
Exactly. But because I don't speak in the right way, right? That's what I was trying to say. So see, when we talk about classism, I'm like, and I said it in my speech in Glasgow, which wasn't at Posey Parker's one night, which wasn't planned at all, like speech or whatever, as most people who know me know. And I don't even watch my stuff back, and I don't remember what I said, but people are telling me, like, when you were just basically like, it could happen to you, it could happen to you, and they went, who the fuck else? They try and do a Scottish accent and take the piss. They go, see that bit where you said, who the fuck else do you want for people to speak for women in prison? Like, do you know what I mean? And I was like, well, exactly. So you want somebody, this is how classist it is. This is what I'm trying to tell you, right? The women in the fucking prisons, as you keep telling us, use PhDs and use fucking academics and use people that do the studies and that are clever and are on the TV and have all the statistics. Use the one that is telling us that they're the most vulnerable, they can't get out, they're most been through this and that and whatever, right? But yet, when you get someone who has been through that and you encourage them, you then are also the person who fucking tries to fucking bring them down and absolutely fucking crucify them.